I'm going to be predicting the main and co-main event for every remaining UFC pay-per-view from now till the end of 2025. And I'm pretty sure I cooked with this list. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let's get into this. There are 4 remaining pay-per-views that are yet to have a main and co-main event announced. And that is one in September, October, November, and December. Now, we're going to go through it chronologically because I'm not weird. I'm not just going to jump around like a moron. Let's get into this. So, UFC 320 is the only one that we have a date, a theme, and a location. And it's UFC Noche. A motorbike just went past outside, and I'm pretty sure my microphone would have picked up on it. Hopefully it didn't, but, you know. Unfortunately, even though it's on Mexican Independence Day, there will not be a Mexican headlining this event because there's not a single Mexican champ in the UFC because they all suck at the moment. So I think it's going to be a rematch between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Pretty close first fight. I'm going to say it. It was a 48-47. Ankalaev kind of did dull the fight down by holding Alex Pereira against a cage because he's a schmuck. But we got to, accept it and say it's effective grappling and control time when it's not. But whatever, he defended all of his takedowns. I'm just a little bit salty. But they're going to run the rematch. Alex Pereira's got 3 title defenses, and I think this is the well, he had 3 title defenses. Yeah, it's a little bit sad language, isn't it? But UFC 320, he fits in perfectly. I mean, 7 UFC events, 7 months. It works. It works. So, or is it 6 months? I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, co-main event, though. Co-main event. We got a Mexican on the card. Well, technically a Mexican. We got 2 Mexicans, allegedly, even though, I mean, the beef here is that Yair doesn't think that, well, he isn't really Mexican, is he? He's born in Brazil, but he trains in Mexico, and then Yair's born in Mexico, but he trains in the US. So it's kind of like whatever. 2 guys, both claiming to be Mexican. They have beef. We all saw it at 314. They stand up and colon, and then just a bunch of yapping. We all saw it, Spanish yapping nonsense. I want to see this event. It is absolute fire. This would add gas to the card. I mean, imagine the press conference between these two yapping at each other. Their gyms hate each other. Their trainers hate each other. Perfect for a co-main event headlined by Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. This would bring in a lot of pay-per-views. So I'm here for this one. UFC 321. This will be October. I can see him going to Australia. Perth, Australia. I think you can see where I'm going with this one. JDM versus Islam Makhachev. Makhachev going for double champ status. JDM, kind of a quick turnaround, considering the fact that he fought a week ago at the time of recording this video. But, I mean, I want to see it. He took a little bit of damage against Belal Muhammad, mainly just, like, cuts and stuff. I don't think Belal Muhammad hits that hard, to be honest. But, who am I to say? Plus, why does JDM look so bulky? They need to stop photoshopping, like, people's arms onto their photos. Like, it just doesn't look right from the angle that is, like, taken from. But JDM versus Islam Makhachev. Makhachev going for double champ status, or just 2 divisional status now, because champ is a thing of the past. He had to vacate his belt. But I think the co-main event, we're getting ourselves an Australia versus Russia card, baby. Alexander Volkanovski versus Movsar Evloev. I love this. In Australia, Perth, absolute cinema. Would love to see this one. Obviously, Volk fought Islam before. He's now fighting Evloev. Islam moving up to fight JDM. Perfect card in my eyes. You could put a bunch of shit fights below of it. Everyone would still buy it. Moving on, UFC 322. I think they'll run this one. This is in November. Then they're going to run it inside the same arena they ran it in last year in November, and that is Madison Square Garden. So who else better to put in than the GOAT of Madison Square Garden, John Bones Jones? And they're obviously going to put him up against Tommy Aspinall, right? This fight itself could probably just be the only fight in the card, and people are still going to tune in. So I feel like we should need to get some DEI on the card. Diversity, inclusion, equity. We're going to put in a women's co-main event. Now, obviously, it's actually a very good fight, to be fair, between Jandiroba and Zhang Weili. Obviously, Jandiroba, I think she fought in April. So she's not going to... I was going to put her on the 320 card, but then I thought, we can't really be putting her... She probably won't really want to make that turnaround. She would make a turnaround in November, though. So I think this fits. Number 1 contender versus title holder. Makes sense in my eyes. I'm going to pick Zhang Weili to win this because she's probably the only good one inside that division, if we're going to be honest. But moving on, final pay-per-view of the year. I think this is where I've really cooked here. So I've tried to come up with some sort of... Because think about it, right? The previous, two cards that I've announced or that I thought of. No, three cards. What am I talking about? They've kind of just been really, obvious cards. But this one I've got to think ahead because every fight that I've just announced, or that not announced, but whatever, are no brainers. This one here, I'm gonna have to match make fights that are where the fighters haven't fought yet. So let's say, for example, Ilia Topuria versus Arman Sharukin, I think is going to headline the event. This is counting on Ilia Topuria knocking out Charles Oliveira, and then Arman Sharukin getting a win over Justin Gaethje. That's some 3D level chess here. But I think both of them will get their wins. I think Ilia Topuria will knock out Charles. Charles gets hit too much. I mean, you're getting dropped by Michael Chandler. You know what I mean? He didn't really get dropped by Chandler. You're getting dropped by Gaethje. You're getting dropped by Poirier. Topuria is going to knock you out. And for anyone who says, "Oh well, Topuria ain't that good. He doesn't know anything about lightweight," this man put Max Holloway, the best chin in the sport, out cold. You know what I'm saying? Well, not really out cold, but you know what I mean. He knocked him out after rocking him multiple times. He's gonna put Charles Oliveira in the ground. Not dead. He's not going to kill him, but he's going to put him out cold. I think he wins that. I think Sarukin gets the win he needs because Sarukin's insane, and I think we run this main event, UFC 323, end of the year. Co-main event, Merab Darashvili versus Corey Sandhagen. I don't think Sandhagen needs to do anything else really to get a title shot. He hasn't fought Merab, and I think Merab beats O'Malley. Great way to end the year. How many of these do I think I'm going to get right? I reckon I'll be happy with a solid 3. I think UFC 320 is a lock. I think 321 is a lock as well. That's going to happen by the end of the year, 110%. 322, I mean, Jones Aspinall, hopefully that happens. If that doesn't happen by the end of the year, it's an absolute disgrace. 323 is more of that's a long shot. But I think the first 3, I've got a good 80% chance of getting them right. But let me know what you think of them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Good.